Hey subscribers! So I've decided that this time I'm going to try a different method, different style to do my info videos. The videos that I used to do, the ones where I set up a professional camera and had a script, came across a bit scripted and a bit robotic. So for this episode I'm going to just go off the top of my head. So today's topic is what is transitioning? So, just to explain, transgender people have the option to transition from their birth sex, or if they were born intersex, to their chosen sex or gender. Now, if you don't know what the difference is, go watch my previous videos, then come back. You back? Good. So, transitioning. There are different types of transitioning. Some people choose to not transition. This is commonly, and I'm sure you've heard the term, staying in the closet. There are people that choose to socially transition. What this means is they will tell their friends, their family, that they are transgender and then begin to dress as and present as the gender of their choice. Next step is hormone transition or hormone therapy. What that means is transgender people will take hormones that are for their chosen sex. So for example, as a trans female, I take what is called progesterone, which has fabled breast growing effects. I also take estrogen and an anti-androgen, or also known as a testosterone blocker. From what I know of male hormone replacement therapy, or HRT, it is quite simply testosterone taken as a tablet or in shot form through the shot as a syringe. Next step is surgical. Now, once again, in surgical, there are different steps. Some may choose to surgically transition only partially. So, for example, as a trans female, I can get what is called face feminization surgery, which means that I will essentially receive plastic surgery that makes my face appear a bit more feminine. I don't think I need it. You guys may disagree, but I'm comfortable with my own look, so I don't see that in my future. The next one that you can also get is obviously breast augmentation, making your breasts a bit larger. This is usually not recommended until after you've been taking hormones for a while, simply because the hormones, estrogen and the lack of testosterone helps develop breasts. And as a standard, a trans girl or trans female will get a breast size approximately 2 sizes under the average of her family, or 2 sizes under the closest relative, so 2 sizes under the mother. This is not always the case. Sometimes it can be 1 size, sometimes it can be equal, but as a general rule, 2 sizes under is what you should aim for if you're a trans girl. Next one that some people can get is, bottom surgery, it's called. And for females, this is simply, I say simply, it's not actually simply anything, but it's where you remove your current genitalia and it gets fashioned or repurposed into female genitalia. In males, it's the same thing, however in reverse. Your female genitalia are repurposed and refunctioned with skin grafts into the male genitalia. It's actually pretty cool. I'll actually leave a link in the comments to a video that actually shows how the male to female surgery occurs. It is simply an animation, but it may help you understand. The reason I'm including that is because one thing that I personally am very sick of is people saying, oh, you're just going to lop your you-know-what off. And that's not true. For a start, I think that's very disrespectful to females, because it implies that females simply lack the male genitalia and therefore they're inferior. But it's not true. All it is that my genitalia will be essentially pretty much flipped inside out to make the female genitalia, and therefore how can females be inferior? So therefore I don't want people to simply believe that it's as simple as lopping it off. It's not that simple, and once again, saying that is rude, so I will leave it in the comments so you can have a look. And yeah, if I find one, I'll also include one for the female to male surgery, but that can take a lot longer, and I'm not sure how many resources there are for it. Yeah. Now there is of course the opportunity for male to female transgender people, instead of having the full bottom surgery, to have their testicles removed and have some form of implant placed in there. This simply stops the production of testosterone, so that you don't have to keep taking testosterone blockers. It's sometimes a good option for people that may have liver issues, as taking too many pills can inflame the liver. It's important to note, even if you have the surgery, that does not mean that hormone therapy stops. Even after surgery, you still need to take estrogen, because estrogen is what is responsible for bone growth and bone density. So stopping that and just trying to live your life will actually cause more issues. So if you have the surgery and you are told by your doctor that you should continue taking hormones, I recommend you do so. Yeah, that's about it. Sorry about that. So yeah, that's about it about what is transitioning. In my next video, I will go into a bit more detail about each of the individual transition types. So specifically going into information about how males transition and how females transition and all the terminology for that. This is just an intro video to those two next episodes. I did originally have a few episodes that were supposed to come before this one, but I found that they were a bit difficult to talk about. If you'd like me to make a video about them, I will. It's just simply didn't think anyone would be interested in them. They were what are pronouns, and basically what pronouns should you use. I started doing it, but it just seemed too self-explanatory already. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please comment if you prefer this style of video where I just talk, no fancy infographics. If you prefer the old style where I have everything set up and I read from a script, I'm happy to do that still. I just want to get the information across to you in the best way that you're willing to be engaged the longest with. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe.